Hey there, friendlies. How's up? Welcome to the 7th of May episode of this fantabulous, I was about to say podcast, live stream. We'll call it the Bevies, Blades, and live stream because here's where we have bevies. We have blades, and we may, in fact, discuss a little bushcraftitude. So, before we go any further, I would just like to do the usual housekeeping, which is the part where I say that if you're watching us, time shifted to tomorrow or next week or next month or next year or whatevs. Let's get those off so I can see better. Thanks for throwing your eyes and your ears in my direction. I love knowing that you're watching the stuff after the fact, even though you cannot participate in the side chat happening down here. I do read the comments. I do love the comments. I do love the live streaming. So hold on. So nice. So there's that. I also want to say that if at any point tonight you really kind of love what's going on this screen, on this camera, in your ears, I would love it if you would hit that thumbs up, that smiley thumb, as I like to call it. If at any point tonight you kind of really don't like what's going on, in fact, you kind of think it stinks, it's all right. Slap me a frowny thumb. That works just as well. And if you would like to take a more active role in helping to keep the lights on around here, then I invite you to check out the, excuse me, the join button. You give that a right click and open it in another tab, and you will see that there are 2 tiers of membership open to you, as well as what each of those tiers will get you for your hard-earned money. So before we go any further, I just want to see who we got hanging. Let's see who popped in early, who popped in right on time, and who came in late. Well, first in was Crispy, saying hi to everyone and happy Tuesday. Happy Tuesday to you as well. Christy McChristy. Let me just see if the YouTube page and the StreamYard are... No. Interesting. Canadian popped in at 4:23 p.m. to say hi. How come? Hold on. There's something weird happening with the YouTube page here. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Anyway, whatevs. So yeah, Country Boy, like at 7:56 p.m. popping in. We had Peanut Trucker Chris popping in, and like none of this is showing up until 8:54 on the StreamYard for some bizarre reason. That seems weird to me, but we're just gonna move on, I guess. That bugs me. All those people I just mentioned, I believe, are channel heroes. You can tell who are the channel heroes because they have an icon next to their name. I have heard that icon, by the way, on other channels called a loyalty badge, and I believe that's the official term for it, but I don't know. That kind of makes it sound kind of 1984-ish. Prove your loyalty. Prove it with this small icon. Anyways, so hi to all of you folks. There's Grace, who is also a channel hero right now, saying hi to everyone. And Grace is also reminding everyone to smash that thumbs up. Just give it a boom. Yeah, I like it. Country Boy, who is, by the way, a channel hero and a channel mod. What is it that I always say? What do I always say? Say, watch what you say. Be polite, or you're going to get the hammer dropped upon you. Okay, so there's just a bunch of people saying hi to each other, so I will skip that. Destiny saying, I believe I hear the drums in the distance. You were a little early on that. I had set tonight for 9:15 because I had a feeling I had a governing board meeting at school tonight, and well, at school. I mean, for school. I did it from sitting right here. but I had a feeling that it was going to be a long one, and it was definitely a long one. So I set tonight to start at 9:15. So it may have felt to some of you that I was late. I assure you I was not. Oh, good old tea. Tea is a good drink. um, Destiny hopes that Marcus and David will be here tonight. I also hope that they will be here. We decided that I should do a lantern episode with those guys, eh? Not next week, because next week I may not be able to stream at all. I don't know yet. That was weird. Something just jumped. But anyways, there we goes. There's David Evans popping in at 9:05. Channel Hero and Channel Mod. Be nice or be pounded by the hammer of, what is it? By the hammer of Grapthar. Why did I have to go that way? Why did I have to do it? Serge says I'm late, but I'm early. Good evening, all. Yep, you may be late on a normal week, but this week you were still like 8 minutes early, I believe. So everyone's saying hi and hello, and there's Beto. How's it going, Mr. Mansky? How you doing tonight? How's the weather where you are? Today it was gorgeous here, like 20 degrees, gorgeous. It's cooled off a little bit. So I'm snuggled in my little blankie. Loving the blankie. Love blankies with this. I always, and when I was growing up, and so still, I call this icing. You know, this binding stuff that's nice and soft. I've always called it icing. And for some reason, like, I can't keep my hands off it, but because I have really dry hands, it's awful. Sometimes when I used to wear a blanket all the time, and I'd be doing that, Russell would be like, "What is all that noise?" And I'd be like, "Oh, sorry, Russell. I'm just fidgeting." Okay, everyone's just saying hi. Russell popping in. Hello, I love you all equally, except some a little less equally. That sounds an awful lot like what Bilbo says at his birthday party in The Lord of the Rings. Was it? Was it? I know half of you half as well as I should, and I like half of you less well than I should. Something like that. If anyone can find that exact quote, drop it in the side chat. You know what I'm talking about, right? He says it in the movie, but I don't know if he says it in the book. It's right after he's, you know, said to everyone, you know, welcome to my 11th birthday. Mark Davidson in the house, Mr. Channel Hero with the little icon. Oh, I was about to call it a loyalty badge. Now that I've said that like out loud, now that phrase is gonna pop into my head. I'm just trying to sort of catch up a little bit here because I'm still at like 9:10. David put on his glasses. Now he can see us all. I took mine off because I find that I'm close enough to the screen that it's just easier without the specs on. Although I'm not a big fan of myself without the specs on. What's Destiny saying? Oh my God, LOL about? Was it about maybe what Russell said? I'm just trying to get. I am Peeplet. Fear me. Okay, fair enough. Everybody fear Russell. Okay. I am Peeplet. Hear me, Peep. Serge's asking me, did Jess say we were talking about knives this week? I didn't say that, but we could talk about some knives. I think Christy wanted to talk about like favorite camping foods or out bushcraft foods. So we can talk about knives and camping foods. We can do that. Destiny says it's raining so hard and for so long it's biblical. Just saying, bye drought. Hello flood. It didn't rain today, which was nice. Well, I don't really want to complain about the rain because it's been kind of a nice rain. Like, it hasn't been an utter downpour, but it's been raining, you know, for a few days straight, which is great because I threw down I pulled out all my planters, planted a few things, threw down some grass seed, and then, we had 2 days straight of rain. So I call that a win. But today it was just sunny and beautiful, and I went outside a few times because it was sunny and beautiful. Canadian had asparagus with dinner, so don't piss me off. Yuck. Serge likes the sound of rain on a metal roof. I do as well. Absolutely. David is asking if Destiny has her arc ready. I hope you do. I hope you measured it to the proper number of cubits. What's a cubit? Christy says, I saw today on a video a firebox that cooks and will charge your phone with fire. It's called Flame Cube Cooker Charger. I have never seen that, but I do have a stove that does the same, and I do not like. But if somebody can find this Flame Cube Cooker Charger and drop it in the side chat so that we can all take, or I can share the screen, that would be fabulous. Because if it's better than the stove that I have, then it would be all win. As it is, the stove I have is very attractive and very cool in a technical way, but I think I just don't camp or hike the way the designers of that stove do, or think we should. Destiny's up and ready to float. Good to know. Everyone's just saying hi. Christy doesn't know what the topic is. It's okay, neither do I. It was another week where I just came rushing in here to get set up and did not have time to do the usual, here's the readings, here's the subject, here's the news. It's too bad because I keep seeing news items that I should really bring up with you guys and then forgot about it. Canadian built another raised bed garden, added some more planting space. Love it. Very cool. David is wondering where our fearless peeplet leader is. He was on earlier. There he is. He's in fact asking how you're feeling. See, Russell does care on occasion when it suits him. At 9:16, Canadian had ads, so that they were playing ads right at the start then, which is the reason I play drums for the first 10 seconds of the live stream anyway, right? It's so that the ads can play and you're not going to miss any of the spectacular pearls of wisdom that drop from my discourse. Tea's a good drink. So good. Stop it. Ian in the house. Hey there, Mr. Channel Hero Ian the Weblord. Awesome. The notification email arrived as the drums started beating. Evening all. Sometimes I get my notification like halfway through the live stream. So yep. Everyone's saying hi. David's still on antibiotics and going for an ultrasound on Saturday. Your doctor is useless. At least you have one. Christy says, a blanket? Yes, it is my blankie, my comfort blanket. I shall, in fact, spend the rest of the night like this. I'm kidding about that, but I do love snuggling into a blanket down here in this dank, dark basement. Dank, dark basement. The basement of dankness and darkness. The blanket is a source of comfort in a deep, dank, dark basement where the deepness and the dankness vie with the darkness for the role of worst factor, scariest element, most uncomfortableness. It is of no importance to me because I have a blanket. Destiny's asking, David, is it your stomach that's causing the problem? Yeah, I didn't even know about this, David. What the hell's going on with you? You were sending me like pictures and stuff. I didn't know you were sick. Let's not. Oh no, you have a UTI. You think you have a chronic UTI? Fudge. I was about to say a different F word. I wouldn't want to live with that kind of pain. crumbs. Bevies, blades, bushcraft, and blankies. By the way, Jess, I like your logo. Please don't change it. It's you and original. I don't want to change it fundamentally. I just feel that my drawing skills on a computer are bloody sophomoric. And maybe people don't realize that the lines in the sky are rain. I think I'd keep that though. I just want the trees to look better and the mountains to look better. Like I'd keep the same shape. Although part of me kind of wants to make it, instead of squat, wants to make it tall, like a tall lozenge. But look, I don't have time, and I'm no good at drawing on a computer, evidently. So I don't think it'll change anytime soon. Canadian says, what I'm feeling, I hope you figure it out, Dave. Yes, I do as well. Grace says, I'll be hiding in my basement for a bit. We just got a tornado warning. I was in my no, I'm not going to tell you that. But yeah, I lived through a couple of tornado warnings when I was living on the prairies. We were really lucky in that we never actually got hit by the twisters. You know, like one of them sort of hung a left and took out the town just to the south of us, kind of thing. And the other kind of, I don't know, it just sort of petered out or something. I don't remember because I was a kid, right? I was living in Manitoba in my formative years, little French town. Little Deuce Coop. Alcohol does not work well with antibiotics, Ross. So you should know such a thing. Yeah, so David's off the booze right now. That's. Oh, I didn't bring whiskey. I forgot to bring whiskey. Oh, I mean, I was running to get online, so. Ian says, it's amazing how much you have to advocate for yourself when it comes to medical anything. Yeah, that's true. That's very true. You really have to, you know, if you're sort of taking a treatment and the doctor walks in and says, so how are you feeling now? So many of us are like, oh, I'm feeling a bit better. No. Here's the way you advocate for yourself. And I know this because, experience, both mine and around me. And one of my sisters-in-law was just in the hospital with something that they couldn't really figure out. But it's like, yeah, I feel a bit better. Stop. Don't. No. Here's what you do. I still feel lousy. Factor 1, factor 2, factor 3, factor 4. And you just stick to it. Right? You know? Yes, I still feel pain. You know? If you were like at an 8/10 before and they gave you some treatment and you're down around a 6, fine. But you don't say, I'm feeling a bit better. You say, I'm still having pain. It's more like a 6, 6.5, maybe a 7 on 10, but it's still making me very uncomfortable. It's still localized to my lower left side. I feel there might be a bit of bruising developing. Like you just stay this way. Yeah, no, I feel a bit better. No. You don't do that. You see every question as a status update. And that's how they stay on their toes and they stay helping you. Destiny's asking if Canadians knew raised garden bed is made of wood. I'm gonna say that's a yes, knowing what I know about Canadian. Yeah, David is. Man, I hope you're doing well soon. That's not good. Oh, Canadian says yes to I believe. Destiny's question. I would make it out of cedar. Some people make that stuff out of railway ties. I just don't have the chutzpah to carry that many railway ties around, and I don't have a circular saw with a blade wide enough, tall enough, whatever, large enough to cut clean through a railway tie. And I hate the look when you cut through it, with the top of like a 6x6 or something, and then you turn it over and cut through, and it never quite aligns perfectly. Drives me nuts. Hey, there's Whiskey Harbor in the house. How you doing? David says they hit 23 degrees there today. Yeah, we hit 20, but man, 23. It's hard not to be optimistic about where the weather is going when you're hitting 20, 23 degrees. Like, I may retire my winter coat for the year. Maybe, just throwing that out there. I said hi to Whiskey Harbor, right? Yes. Whiskey Harbor, by the way, channel hero. Check out that little icon. Russell's asking if I've looked at my new device yet. No, I'm going to do it this upcoming weekend. I need to go and do some filming. A 10-minute video, I believe I have to make. I'm not entirely sure. I may not have been told exactly what the format of the 10-minute video needs to be, so I will contact the people to find out. But yes, I'm going to shoot that as quickly as I can. Jess, this is your live stream, therefore you are our fearless peeplet leader, QED. Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah. Where Serge was, it hit 18 degrees. Hey, holy crap. Haven't seen you in a minute. That Mr. Tenenbaum in the house. Tenenbaum is a channel moderator, so be nice or be pounded with the hammer of justice. Good old tea. Sounded like a quotable quote, but there were so many dank I lost count. What did I say? David says, with the UTI, I kindly ask you not to piss me off. Thanks. Yikes. Yeah, Sal said to draw the logo on paper and live trace. I should. I need time. I just need some time. Yeah, nobody reacted to David's joke. Christy says, you always have whiskey down there, Randa. Isn't the blue down here? Well, the blue is, in fact, right here, right next to the King George V. But, I mean, I only like to have the blue if Al is around. He's not around. I think I was going to have one of the ryes tonight. But anyways, whatever. Maybe I'll have some blue. Just taking a look. I'm skipping over all the dick jokes. Just keep on. All right, nice. There's some good news. Warning canceled, and I'm okay. Confirmed tornado was about 15 miles away. That's what, about 25 clicks away? Do I have that right, or am I making it backwards? Anyways, I'm glad that you're safe, and I hope to heck that twister didn't take out a town. I hope that it sort of petered out over the woods or something. Still more dick jokes going around. Hike with Mike in the house. How's it going? Are you out in the woods or the swamp tonight, Mike? Or are you at home? Home and warm. How's the weather down there? Man, you guys are the burning questions are the worst. Yes, I agree. Shawnee, channel hero Shawnee in the house. Are you listening while you work tonight, or are you gonna chit chat with us? I mean, I'm just as happy with someone listening as they work, though, knowing that my voice is out there touching people as they work, reaching into their ears, bringing them joy. Yes, joy. Much like the joy I feel live streaming after a tough two days of the week. But, it's been a week since the previous live stream, and it was last week was a rough week, and this week is shaping up to be a rough one. So, I'm taking my joy where I can get it, okay? You should always take your joy where you can get it. I think maybe for the rest of this live stream, I'll just drop, like, BS wisdom on you. Always take your joy where you can find it. whether it's easy to find or hard to find, whether it's on a shelf or tucked under a pillow. Find your joy. Enjoy your joy. Find joy in your joy. Yes, these are words of wisdom. You know, stuff like that. Should I just do the rest of the live stream like that? Is that a poll I should be asking? That would be the world's worst poll. 98%. No! Shawnee is free to do what I want any old time. Mike is at home dry with no rain while the swamps are dry. Okay. You how often do you go out, Mike? Are you one of those dudes who like is out every couple of weekends or once a month or whatever, and spends lots of time planning, or do you just sort of go out when the spirit strikes you? Because you do enough videos that unless you like spend a day shooting all your quiet little moments and then you space them out, that I mean, it looks to me like you're out fairly often. Whoops. Well, Destiny's asking, what are you free from? Shawnee usually works at this time of the evening. Oh, in fact, she even answered. Why do I even bother answering for you guys? I should have like, what? David always has his joy with him. I'm not talking about a body part. I think Serge wanted to talk about knives. I don't have any knives here, though. Well, I have one knife here. I haven't bought a knife in a long time. Problem is, all the knives I want are too expensive for me to, like, spontaneously buy. What's it called? When you make a spontaneous purchase? You know, when you're not planning to buy something, you just yoink. What's it called? Hold on a second. Country boy. No, this isn't. But that's good. Hike is saying when the spirit strikes you. Okay. Not as much this year. Been working 7 days a week a lot this year. Okay. Thank you, Cliff. Impulse buy. Yes. All the knives I'm really interested in are way too expensive for me to impulse buy. Absolutely. You know? So like I don't have any new knives. I'm also like I don't want to buy many more knives because I'm trying very much to not become like a knife collector. I'm at the point where, well, I haven't gone out at all this year, but when I was going out, like I would make sure that I bring that they each get a turn out in the woods. And I feel that if I add like, there are like three or four knives that I would really love to have, but if I go buying any of them, something is going to end up just staying home. And as I did with my bass guitars, as you guys have heard, if something never comes out, I get it shipped off to someone who will love it and enjoy using it, right? And so I feel that if I get many more knives, I'm going to have to do the same thing. Country Boy said, discorded me a pic of your favorite camp meal. Might have to zoom in on the fire to get a better look. Allow me to check that out. Ooh, allow me also to remind my daughter to go to bed. I shall now text her. Gone to bed? Question mark. I just noticed what time it is. So I'm checking the Discord. Country Boy. Nice little setup. And since you do not use your real name in the Discord, I feel. Oh, what have you got there? Are you rotisserieing a chicken over a campfire? Let me just take the comment off. Let me get this across my face. Is that like, are you rotisserieing a chicken on a campfire? Is that what that is? Or is it a duck? It looks like a chicken to me, but maybe it's a duck. I'm lost. Oh, Destiny is saying happy birthday to Peanut Trucker on May the 12th. Hope you're safe wherever you are tonight. I think it's hilarious that Peanut Trucker is on the 12th and I'm on the 21st. It's like we're two sides of the same coin. David Evans is asking, where's LT Survival these days? I do not know. I have no idea. I mean, I still see him posting on Facebook and stuff. Usually on the Quebec Knife Owners group. Yeah, I haven't heard from him in a long time. 8 Acres bought his brother a Topps Fieldcraft 3.5 for his birthday. He already bought it. Oh, damn. A Topps Fieldcraft. I think those are kind of cool. There's something by Topps that I found was really kind of cool. Topps Fieldcraft 3.5. Let me see if that's the one that... because everything is all AI now, you enter something and at the top it's like what AI thinks you want to know about it, right? Length, material, grind. Okay, that is actually stuff that I want to know, but I just wanted, yeah, okay. So they sell it on Amazon.com. This item cannot be shipped to your selected delivery location. I don't care. I just want to look at it. Oh yeah, okay, yes. Yeah, I know this knife. Wow, it says recommended fighting. Recommended uses for product fighting. What? No. Yeah, that's a nice looking knife. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that that's not a wooden handle. Is that some kind of stuff? But yeah, nice gift. Too bad he already has it. Impulse power, Mr. Crusher. Engage. Yeah, no, I got it. Carol's here. Channel hero Carol, judging by the icon next to her name. Apparently we just had an ad. Oh yeah, great. Of course we do, because I started at 9:15, 9:45-ish is when we will have the ads. Okay. So I hope you didn't miss too much. Rotisserie chicken over the campfire. That sounds amazing. David asked an interesting question. Is it possible to do late night impulse knife buying if you are sober? I don't know. I think so. Did Sales retract another comment? Now I'm scrolling back. I'm going to find it if he did. I don't see it. You only missed seeing the rotisserie chicken. Well, I can fix that. Okay. Looks like a nice setup. Is that a semi-permanent place, or a place you go to a lot? So you've got that little fire pit set up and everything on the semi-permanent? Rebel with an O says, is catch and release open all year round? I have no idea. It says piri piri. Now, I made a piri piri chicken recently. David Evans is going to test that theory sometime soon about whether or not it is possible to impulse buy a knife while sober. I think it is. I absolutely think it is. I mean, I won't be doing it tonight. I'm in the middle of paying for something hugely expensive. That I won't talk about online, but I don't have a lot of money for anything right now. So we got Rebel with O is in on the stream, dropping some comments. Did I say hi, or did I just sort of reference one of your questions? Because Serge, how much did you spend on that Topps? Yeah, I could just, you know what I'll just do is go into the address and change the .com to a .ca, and I will know everything I need to know about that Knife. .ca, unless they don't sell it here. 250, eh? Yeah, that is a nice gift. I will pass you my address. Destiny says, just saw Marcus's GSD pics on Discord. Echo and Quattro are huge. What's a GSD? It's Echo and Quattro. I know what those are, but I'm just taking a look. They're in Pics of Pets, aren't they? A couple of big old dogs. It's my hidden spot that hasn't been touched in 8 years by anyone but me. It's well hidden in the middle of the bush. Yeah, most avid bushcrafters, if they find like a pristine spot that no one's been to, they ain't telling no one about it. Excuse me. Hugely expensive hair transplant? No, I'm just gonna shave it all off. No, it's not. It's not for me, which is why I'm not talking. Yeah, my car to handle. You spent 180ish. Okay. Oh, German Shepherd dog. That is GSD a thing? Is that what we're calling them now? Okay. I didn't know that we were calling them GSDs. I mean, I'm old. We just called them shepherds. GSD. No. No. Good old dogs. What time are we at? We're at 21:53. So here's a question. Oh. 10 Mom says, that is so they're not confused with people who herd sheep. Yes, German shepherds. People who herd sheep in Germany. Or people who live in Alsace. Yeah. Oh, you sent it back. You were looking at the Benchmade Saddle Mountain 1502? That's like... You're looking at the... So where'd you get it for 180? Because, well, here's the thing, right? Everything seems to be expensive on Amazon these days. Like, you're spending way over what you need to be. Hold on, I'm gonna look up that Benchmade. Oh, you know what? I should have. Sorry, guys. I really blew that. I'm gonna share pics of the. Is this gonna work? Yes, yes, it is. So here's the knife that Serge bought his bro, but he unfortunately already had it, which stinkulates because it's a nice. The one thing that I'm a little. That's how it's gonna work. That's how we're doing this. Never mind. I'm not a massive fan of coated blades. To be straight, I like the blades to be, glossy stainless. Stop it. Glossy stainless for various reasons. Nice sheath. Sits too high for me. I like a dangler. Yeah, so, but a 3-point, that it's called a 3.5 because it's a 3.5-inch blade, I believe. Benchmade Saddle Mountain. Oh, for gosh sakes, just work with me. I don't think I can do Benchmade in Amazon, eh? I mean, man, I've spent $260 on a knife before. So did you go for the one? Well, were you going to go for the one with the wood handle, or sort of the micarta? It's a nice looking knife too. I like that one too. The The orange handle. I'm not much into synthetics, but yeah. Remove. So back to me. Back to me. Apparently I should pour the king. Still finding willow fur a week after she left. Dog glitter. I love it. Last week I was at work down here, and the youngest, the squeak, was home for 3 days sick. And I had a cup of tea sitting next to me here on the desk, and she came up with like this little rocket that she'd had in her pencil case, and she had like some bottles of glitter, and she was and like oops, and dropped it right into my tea, and it's like my tea was immediately 10% glitter. I was like, good thing you're cute. Sits too high for me. I like a dangler. Quotable quote for the night. Fair enough. I like a dangler sheath. I do. I don't like them that are up high on the belt like that. I always feel like I'm too fat. I might catch myself trying to sheath my knife or something. Country Boy says nothing wrong with a dangler. Yes, the wood. Yeah. The wood is that's how I would go as well. I like the look of it. I definitely like the look of it. I'm going to right click and open this in a new. Oh, I can't right click and open whatever Tenenbaum's YouTube post is in another window. So hold on a second. I will do it in the YouTube window. Open link in new tab. And I will watch it later. I have way too many windows open. Like I was trying to find the damned. Anyway. She made my tea pretty. Yeah, but it was like I'm still going to drink it, but then I was like, there's glitter in my teeth. It's not my most shining day. Well, actually, maybe it was in some ways. There we go. So it's 21:58 now. Should I wait an extra 15 minutes because I started 15 minutes late, or should I just pour it now? What do you guys think? Is that worth a poll? No, it's not worth a poll. Oh, stop sharing. I shall now stop sharing the window. Excuse me. So, Serge, you didn't buy the Benchmade then? Because you found it too expensive? Am I picking up what you're laying down? Fox had heard shots. That doesn't surprise me. Oh, not gunshots though. Okay. Yuck, Christy says, wait till you go to the bathroom after drinking all that glitter. Hey, I'm not the one with the UTI in this conversation, okay? Booty, boo, booty, boo, boo. Man, I'm tired. So, do we decide if I'm pouring now or in 15? Because it is 9:59 right now. It's 9:59. You know what that means? It means it's almost 10. Yuck. Now, this was a couple of days ago. I survived the experience. Just. I shall be very careful. I shall very careful be. Oops. But like I'm getting down there. I gotta stretch this out. That's the thing about when the bottles are this expensive. It's like you fear finishing it off. There we go. Wiping off a little space on the table. Serge says, hold on. Nope, haven't pulled the trigger on anything yet. And yes, it's a bit pricey. Then again, it's for the brother. What's your knife again, Serge? I believe that he bought you. No, he made you. You have a Puko, is it? And he no, it's not a Puko. It's one of those from Verestelica, I think. And he made your sheath, right? I think your brother made the sheath for your knife. Do you have a different knife now, or are you still using that one? I remember liking that knife. Yeah, Tenenbaum. Something he doesn't already have can be tricky. Yeah, he's got a lot of knives, and he's a knife guy. It'd be kind of interesting to have him and LT do an episode, like a knife episode, a knife panel discussion. I was watching. I believe her channel name is Girl Outdoors. She's a British bushcrafter, well, outdoorsy person. She lives in a Land Rover, I think, or something. And she did an episode about her favorite bushcraft knives, like her bushcraft knife array. And I was so let down by that episode because I watch her a lot. She does some cool stuff, but the episode was God, how do I say this? Free of knowledge. And I'm not saying that she doesn't know how to use a knife. I'm saying that she doesn't know how to talk about knives. And I really felt kind of disappointed because I really like her content. I realized that I just named a channel and then kind of dissed them, which is something I try very hard not to do. But I'm saying it because I don't dislike her channel. I think her stuff is great. I was just really let down by the lack of sort of knife lore in her head. And it just reminds me that, you know what? For some people, these are just tools. You know, you don't have to know what the metal is, you know, what steel your blade is made of, if all you care about is can it cut, you know? Yeah, I can sharpen it, whatever. But I come at this from like a bushcraft geek perspective, right? I want to know everything about that tool. I want to know everything about, you know, oh, I just got a new, I don't know, canteen. That's a terrible example, but you know, if I get a new knife or a new axe, I want to know everything about it. I want to know what the hardness rating is, what the steel is, what's the percentage of carbon in this steel, if possible, if that information is out there. I want to know the exact length of the blade. Is it 4 inches? Is it, you know, 4 1/8? I don't think I'd go that granular, but like, you know, I know how, you know, this knife is a 4-inch blade. That one's a 5-inch blade. And I just, it's important to know what the parts of a tool are called if you're going to talk about them from a place of knowledge on YouTube. And I think that's what was bugging me. Is like not the proper terms for anything. She thought the survival lily knife was great. Like nobody thinks the survival knife, the survival lily knife is great. Nobody, you know. But I mean, that's also partly because you know she doesn't do knife reviews, right? So it's legit. I mean, if you don't do knife reviews, you're not necessarily going to put the survival lily knife through the ringer, but you will do something important, and you will support a woman doing something in a very male-oriented world, and I'm okay with that. You know, that's all I'm going to say because I now I'm starting to feel like I'm just dunking on a channel, and I hate doing that. Maybe that she has a lot of practical knowledge, but those knives are just hard to verbalize. Yeah, maybe. Yeah. He made me a sheath for a puko. Yeah. Country Boy says, I don't know a shift about knives other than it feels good in my hand and does what it wants it to do. But you're not making videos about them, right? Yeah, there it is. The Yakari Puko. Yeah. Might I just say, cheers. That's caramel colored. It's a great color, but it doesn't mean anything because it's synthetic. I guess we're not getting Russell tonight. Yeah, that Yakari Puko of yours it was kind of nice in a rugged rugged kind of way. I mean, they're very rugged knives. They're all business. There's nothing fancy on them, but there doesn't have to be. And those are great knives. Oh, sorry. Tenenbaum. Scored. Hey, there's Jim. Popping in to say Audi. Driving. Okay. Good to know. Tenenbaum says, I have a glass of Gekkeikan Junmai here. Is that? Or is that Gekkeikan Yunmai? That doesn't look. That Gekkeikan sort of looks Japanese to me. What is it? What are you having? Because Yunmai could be like Junmei. Yunmai. No, it's something Japanese. Oh, it's sake. Okay. Yeah, I have tried to get with sake many times, but I don't know, something about it that does not do it for me. Oh, and Kirsty was just about to say it's sake as well. Whoops. Just about to say it's sake as well. I have to admit, I don't know half as much about knives as my brother, but often it's just a question of how it feels. Country Boy loves sake. I wish I did. Or liked it at all. Yeah, I've never had one that I really liked. I've tried it hot. I've tried it cold. I prefer hot, warm, cold. I think I prefer it cold because the flavor doesn't seem quite as cloying to me. Yeah. You having it traditionally, like in a little wooden square box, square glass? Sasha has not had sake in years, nor have I. Yeah, and maybe like I've made my peace with tequila. And there's something about the way sake hits at the back of the mouth that is very similar to tequila, and I didn't like with either of those. Oh, excuse me. Sorry for yawning. Chrissy says, Steve and I love sake. Try the flavored fruit one, and they even make a chocolate one. I love traditional most and very hot. Yeah, no, not for me. I should probably try it again, though. Tenenbaum says, nope, just a little tumbler, room temperature. This is super easy drinking. I should look for a bottle and see if maybe it's time to give it a second chance. As I say, now that I've made my peace with the tequila. Stop yawning, man. Oh, sorry, folks. That's terrible. I'm being a terrible host. Yawning in your faces like this. What the heck? What's going on with that? What's up with that? Oh, baby duck. What's up with that? What song is that from? Would you please tell me what you're gonna do next? Tell you what you are. You're just a dick. What the hell's the name of that song? It's like an old sort of ska. Yeah, it's a ska song. I was gonna say maybe it's reggae, but it's not. It's not the right kind of bass line or horns for reggae song. It's a ska number for sure. But I don't remember what it was called, and I don't remember who did it. I will look it up later. because I will bore you if I just start looking it up right now. Oh no. I broke the seal. Now I'm starting to yawn every 12 seconds. Sorry, guys. It's amazing how far behind the YouTube page is from where we are here. There we go. I just brought it up to speed. I think it's probably because I don't know what it's for. There's no excuses. Rebel with an O says, shot of bourbon. Come on, fool. Shot of bourbon equals a double espresso. Really? Sal says, I tried tequila in Mexico and rum in Cuba. Maybe the sake you tasted just sucks like most tequilas on rum in the Belle Province. I had some very good tequilas in Mexico. I brought one home. But it's still more of a mixing drink for me. You know, you make I would love to make a Paloma, but I can't eat grapefruit because of my old man meds. But you can make, a margarita, whatever. You can make some terrific. If you have a nice tequila, you can make some stunning cocktails. But tequila is like whiskey. You don't want to buy the stuff that's geared towards mixing into drinks because it's garbage in, garbage out. Right? If you throw a Canadian Club into an old fashioned, you're gonna get a piss poor old fashioned. You got to put something. Longest Quest says no headphones. Well, I don't need headphones because there's no one else on screen. I'm all by my lonesome. I'm all by myself. All by myself. I wanna be. Anyway. By the way, hi. Hi, Skip. Rebel with an O says 100% agave blanco. Is that your preference then? I have a blanco upstairs and I have a reposado. Oh no, this yawning is gonna kill me twice just to make sure it's done. Holy crap, Bettina's here. Good evening, everyone. We are eating a very late dinner. Power's been out since 3:30 to 4 p.m. A huge area has been affected. We have not lost our power today or yesterday. We lost internet late yesterday, though, which pissed me off. I couldn't listen to my ASMR videos to go to sleep with. Yeah, that's it. Destiny says, hope you have a lantern or two. I also hope you have a lantern or two. It would stink if you didn't. So what's for supper, Bettina? What are you having? I mean, if the power's out, I guess, did you barbecue something or are you eating like cold, tuna sandwiches or something? Country Boy has noticed that Bettina H is here. Christy is saying, where are you, Russell? He's probably kicking back, enjoying a drink. I mean, I would be. I technically am, I guess. I would love to get a poof or something to put my feet up on under this desk while I'm live streaming. Because I put them on top of my PC, but it's too high. Makes me feel like a kid. Hold your effing horses. But the thing is, if I get too comfy here, like if I get too like all snuggly and comfortable, I'll be like, I have fallen asleep during live streams before. So, I don't want to become too comfortable. I do like getting all snuggles, though. That's for damn sure. I would love to have a study, like wood-lined, like wooden bookshelf-lined study with, for most of my life, I would have said a fireplace in the corner, but I have completely switched my interest over to wood-burning stoves, like a nice stove in the corner, nice cup of tea, a book, big, comfy chair. was going to say like a leather chair, but no, because if the temperature is too hot, and I have a habit of wandering around my house in shorts all the time, so I don't want to like stick to my chair. So something big and comfy. Good book or an iPad. Let's face it. A nice whiskey fire on, and like not worry about falling asleep there, because I would definitely fall asleep there. I would love that. That's why I need to get to win the lottery. Advertisement. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Bettina says tenderloin on the barbecue, ramen noodles, and fresh bread. I do love me some fresh bread. I like my bread to be really full of seeds and stuff like that. Good peasant bread, I think they call it, or some damn thing. Are people still seeing ads, or are they over now? They should be over now. It's been like 2 minutes, I think. Yeah. Average should. Oh, I better get my cans. I move slowly because I'm getting old. I'm not quite as old as Russell is, but I'm still getting old.
Welcome to this. Oh, man.
And I'll be older on the 21st than I am today.
I'm a week closer to qualifying for that seniors discount at Subway. You know the funny thing is, City Girl's the same age as, well, she's 6 months younger than me. Her birthday's in November, right? And I told her about it thinking, oh, she's going to hate this idea that now she qualifies for senior stuff. And she's like, but no, she's like, oh yeah, I can't wait. We'll get all these senior discounts everywhere we go.
Yeah.
Like, what, really?
Yeah.
And is anybody going to believe it when she walks in somewhere saying, yeah, I'm a senior?
No, there's no way. No. Serge is out. So good night.
Good night, Serge.
Have yourself a good sleep. I'm going to have to sleep at some point tonight as well.
What? What is the sleep thing?
What is the sleep thing of which they speak?
I'm having a thing and a winter ale.
Good old winter ale. You getting your last winter ales in before the summer kicks in?
I guess so. Oh, but what a great combo.
Yeah. So that's the winter ale and the Grants?
No, not Grants. You threw me off. If you hadn't said it. If you hadn't said anything, I would have gotten like that. Gibson's,
right.
Finest Rare 12.
Gibson's Finest.
Rare 12.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's two that are very similar. Gibson's Finest that isn't Rare 12. I don't know.
Yeah,
I made
the no age statement. Yeah.
I got the wrong one once, and it was not as good.
Mm-hmm. 12 is the better one, I think. I believe.
Is that like Swedish?
Yeah, it's God night is good night.
Oh. Okay. I thought it was a typo, actually.
No.
What do I know? Anyway, what's the topic tonight? Huh?
I don't know. We were talking about knives. Christy wanted to talk about camping foods, which I guess we'll talk about another night since it's already 10:20.
Let's talk emergency preparedness for no other reason than I have some stuff here.
Sure. Okay.
You know what? Okay, here's something that's almost useless. I'm going to talk about this in a video, I think. I bought these microscoping glasses. The stupid thing is, and I don't know why they did this, but you wear them like glasses, right? But you can't, the only way you can see something is if you're like this close to the lens, like half an inch away. And there's no way you can have an item that's in front of both lenses then, right?
Oh, so I see what you're saying. Right.
Like you're only seeing it through one or the other.
You look like an anime character, something from Ghost in the Shell.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
Because I will wear these all the time. I mean, I can't see anything, but I will wear them all the time. If people think I'm from Ghost in the Shell.
Yeah. Hilarious.
Awesome. But the reason I bought those, and the reason I got this as well, this is another mini microscope, but this one's really hard to use.
Unlike the other ones where you have to be this far away from what you're trying to see.
No, this one's way worse, and it's I'm not sure what they call it. When you look through and everything's backwards, so if you move it up, it goes.
Oh yeah,
moves
They're
down.
kind of mirrored or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Whatever. I don't know why they did that, because I don't think they need to. But so it's, and you got to be like perfect. The distance to whatever you're looking at has to be perfect.
Yeah.
Which leads me to this one, which I find actually quite useful. So it has a light on it. They all have lights on them. But what it's great for is finding slivers. And showing you the slivers. I know that doesn't look like much, but this one's way better than the other two at doing it, and you can see like really, really well.
Good night, Jennifer. Have yourself a good night. Thanks for hanging out. I didn't even know you were here.
And so what I'm saying is, like, going camping or something like this doesn't weigh much. It's kind of easy to shove in your bag. Just make sure that the battery's fresh, because you do need the light. Otherwise, you need to hold the flashlight really close to it. I thought that's really cool.
Yeah.
Because I hate getting slivers.
As do I.
And my eyesight, my near eyesight is crappy, as we all know. So
is it garbage? Yeah. I used to get a lot of slivers when I was working in carpentry. It's like every day, you get home and you're going after them with a needle.
Yep. I do that too. Same thing. Needle. I didn't like pinchers never work. Needle nose, nothing works. But a needle, you just keep picking at it.
Yeah, and eventually it'll come out.
Yeah. And then I also got here, since we're talking about emergency preparedness, I just happen to have this. I brought it in to charge it, which means I got to take it back out to the car and leave it there. But I got my NOCO for booster. I'm amazed at how small these things are, and
so am I.
For what you get out of it. I mean, this will boost your car. If your battery's not dead or almost dead, this will boost it. It actually works. I've used it on other cars. I've used it on my car.
But
you just gotta.
But like the battery pack I have to boost my car, it has two like clips, right? Like a positive and a negative. For some reason, what I thought was coming out the bottom there was like, I thought it was plugged into an extension cable to power it up. That's what I thought you had there. Okay.
So yeah, and then I just keep it in my car, and I just brought it back to charge it because it was a little low.
How often have you had to use it? Are they?
I've used this 4 or 5 times now, and it's surprising. I mean, there's one this girl that worked at Subway had accidentally drained her battery, and when I was going to get my sub, and I asked her what was wrong with her car because she was standing there, and she said, "Oh, it's the battery." And I said, "Oh, I got something." She said, "Oh, we tried to charge it, with another car." And I said, "Well, I got this thing. Let's try it." And it worked. She was amazed. Yeah, pretty cool. They're a bit pricey. They're $150, $160, maybe more. Actually, maybe I'll look that up right now because
I mean, 150, 160 is like, okay, it ain't cheap, but the instant your battery is dead and you're like, oh no, oh wait, I've got this, then it sort of paid for itself in terms of peace of mind.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, as I said, I've used this 4 or 5 times. This is better than just carrying around, booster cables.
Yeah.
Right now, this model is $154 Canadian.
Is that a Canadian Tire?
Amazon.
Oh. Hi to Off-Grid Recon. Welcome to
Off-Grid Recon.
Welcome to the side chat. Tenenbaum says you can also get ones that attach to the cigarette lighter. Not as robust though.
You mean to charge it? Obviously, you're not boosting your car through it, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, this has it's a USB charger. In fact, there's 2 different USB chargers in it.
USB A and USB C.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, not USB C though. Oh, in fact, sorry. One is out. Regular USB is out. The other one's in. USB B, or I don't know what it is. Anyway, yeah. City Girl just charges hers in her car. She plugs it into her thing.
Okay.
Her USB. She's got a USB thing on her. Well, I do too, but.
David says, I paid $100 for my Noco when they first came out. What does a Noco?
You still have it, David?
Is that like the brand of his?
This. Yeah, it's this. That's Noco.
Oh, it's a Noco? Okay. Yeah. Upgrade says, been so busy, missed the last few live chats. That's okay. You can always watch them after the fact. I mean, it's not as fun to watch the live stream after the fact, though.
But were you here last week, Off-Grid Recon, or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think you're thinking of somebody else. No. So what David is saying is that I should have bought it when it first came out, ages ago. Eons.
Well, the next best time to buy it is now.
Yeah. Yeah, but if I'm going to spend $100 on something, it's going to be whiskey. Just kidding.
You're not kidding at all.
I have my next whiskey shipment in the mail on its way to me right now. Should be here on Friday. So I'm not going to have another King George V, but I'll have a wee dram of the blue to finish the night off. David Evans, yes, he does have his Noco still.
Keep it in your car, David. Keep it charged. I was thinking this evening as I was out on my ATV I wasn't getting eaten alive by bugs, but there were a lot of bugs out there. Is my camera being funny, or am I okay?
The camera's fine. You're being funny.
It's being funny on my screen.
Is it?
I was thinking I should have a pack on
your camera is being funny. It's like pixelating a little bit. Getting some.
Yeah, it had problems connecting earlier, so. Anyway, I was thinking I need a little pack on my ATV, a little emergency pack, like a ferro rod and a knife. Because I was out there tonight, and I'm wearing my stretchy pants because I'm so fat, and without a belt, I don't carry a knife on me.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're saying. I kind of feel like I should have a little pack in my car with, like a drone. And damn it, you made me laugh, so I had lost where I. Oh well, whatever.
A drone and a cake.
A cake.
$1 million.
If I had $1 million, I have one of those boosters. Works well when you go off grid solo. Says Off Grid Recon. Oh, Rebel with an O is out. All right, good night, Rebel with an O. See you next time, maybe.
Good night, Rebel.
Though I may not be streaming next week.
What?
I may not be streaming next week
because of the school thing. Something else.
No, I will be streaming next week. It's June the 11th. I will not be screaming. I will not be screaming. One does not scream on June the 11th.
I think we need a poll. Who here thinks that Jess needs to get out of this school thing? This commitment.
Well, here's the thing. Because June the 11th is my next governing board meeting, but I had to shift that to Wednesday that week, so that the 12th, because June the 11th, Camille has her first school concert.
Oh, nice.
So I have to be there for that.
I was thinking the other day about how my parents always used to sit through our concerts and how awful that would be. Not that your experience will be the same. No, I was
going to say, you know what? I've been seeing my kids' concerts since daycare. I've seen some really crappy concerts.
Well, here's the thing. There's 8 different bands that play. When I'm thinking high school concerts, there's 8 different bands that play. And when the grade 9s are playing, it's pretty crappy, pretty basic music. And the concert band sounds great. And the senior stage band is pretty good, but
the class bands are terrible.
But there's a lot of crap you got to sit through.
Yeah, absolutely. Country Boy says, if you have a bottle of whiskey in the car, what the hell do you need a boost for? Sit back and drink. Problems will solve themselves. Fair enough.
Well, except you'll wake up in the back seat and going, oh, I'm still here.
Yeah. Yeah. Christy says, I hated sitting through those things. I'm expecting, because it's her first year in high school, right? And so at that school, every kid needs to take band for a semester. Her teacher has. Do you really want to talk about this? Whatever. Her teacher has strongly suggested that she join junior band next year. So I signed her up because I sort of spoke to her and said, listen, if your teacher says you should, that's a vote of confidence. So, giddy up. And so I expect stuff like junior band and senior band are going to be a hell of a lot better than grade 7 English side band. Because as I said, I've been through a whole lot of concerts now. But here's the thing: when I was doing concerts, in the early part of my life, I went to a fine arts school, so the bands were pretty good. Not all of them. And then when I switched to a normal public school, I was the only bass player in the school. So anytime any band was needed for anything, man, I got out of so many classes because they were doing a thing at the local shopping center or whatever, and they needed a bass player. So I was like, this works out well because I hate math. Ian said, band was the only way I survived the boring torment of high school. I was good in classes that interested me, and I was terrible at classes that didn't. So I was no good in French. I was no good in math. I think I was good in everything else. But unfortunately, French and math are two that you need to get out of high school. So I had to work my ass off. But yeah, even in band, because when I was going to the fine arts school, I went through like a dozen instruments before I discovered the one I wanted to play. And at that point, it was already kind of too late and I was leaving the school. Like I tried clarinet and hated it. Tried trumpet and hated it. I tried French horn. Sorry, the French horn and hated it. Like I would have loved to have played something like the oboe or the bassoon, but like there was 2 oboe players and 1 bassoonist, and they had both picked those instruments, in grade 5 or 6 or something kind of thing. So, so I missed the boat on that, and I was way too late to get into the strings department. So I was like, I just drove the band teacher crazy to the point where I ended up being the only kid in that school's history to be exempted from band. Not officially, but she told me that if she never saw my face again, I would have a 60. So I would have a free period 3 times a week.
Huh. Yeah, band for me. Well, not just band. I was halfway through grade 9 when I realized I had no friends, and I started spending time in the library, and that sucked. So I started going down to the music room and found other kids were going to the music room just to hang out. It was one of those music rooms where just a ginormous room, and if there was a band practicing, they were over in the band practicing area. But you could sit in other places, or you could sit in one of the practice rooms. They're all soundproof, and just developed a whole new set of friends doing that. Kind of saved me from the horror that is grade 9.
Grade 9 was rough. Yeah.
Well, if you don't have any friends, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't have friends either. But I mean, I didn't peak in high school, so I'm not that angry about it now.
You didn't peak in high school at the time, though. You didn't know.
Yeah, you didn't know that, but like years later, I was sitting on a bus, and one of the guys who had peaked in high school and had been way cooler than me in high school sort of got on, sat down, and looked all, it was clear that that's when he had peaked. I just sort of sat there and looked at him, and he didn't recognize me, but I recognized him. And I think, you don't look nearly as good as you did back then.
Oh, yeah. Facebook is hilarious for that kind of stuff. You look at people now and go, wow.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian says, A band road trip to Quebec City was where I discovered what vodka was. Welcome to Quebec. Should have, yeah. That story has been repeated by many, many people who've, road trip to Montreal, first time drinking, whatever, booze. David says we should have played the Dangler. I don't know what that is. I've played the Gambler before.
It's an instrument.
Warm summer's evening. Train bound for nowhere.
Here we go.
No, we're stopping. I don't sing for free. I don't sing at all if I can get away with it. I don't sing well.
I don't sing for free. Holy Destiny. I'm totally stealing that, by the way.
Okay, fair enough.
Quotable quote there, Destiny. I don't sing for free.
Just let me get comfy here. I'm getting all tangled up.
That thing again.
Which thing?
The thing that's wrapped around you. Why don't you just put on a sweater?
Because I like a blanket. What kind of savage are you?
Oh, okay. I'm not a savage. I have my blankets. Yeah, I totally do that too. Yeah.
You got dogs. You don't need blankets. You got dogs. I dream of, because I had dogs before too, and I've had cats, and I love it when you're lying there on the couch watching some TV or something, and the animal comes and snuggles with you. With it, when it's a cat, it's a little less awkward. Like I used to have a German Shepherd. No, I didn't. I had a Husky. What? And so I'd be watching, and she would sort of come up, put her nose on the couch. I'm like, oh. And then she would just sort of like slowly pook, and then just sort of like pour up onto the couch. And I'd be like, oh my God, I need room. But then, like once they're asleep, it's amazing. It's fabulous. They're like children that way. They're asleep. When they're asleep, they're fabulous.
See, I never do that with my dogs because they're always so freaking dirty. So we don't share furniture, unfortunately. But now the cat in the city, that's a different story.
Yeah, with the cat, it's amazing.
Well, it's so cute though. During the day she does her own thing, but at night she's taken to sleeping in the bed with City Girl and me when I'm there, and it's the cutest thing because she doesn't come right away. Like you'll be asleep and you'll feel the soft little touch of nose and whiskers.
Yeah.
Somewhere the softest little touch here and then here and then here, and like you open an eye and she's right there.
Yeah.
And then she like snuggles right up with you, and
love it.
But she's the tiniest cat I've ever seen, like the tiniest adult cat.
Oh yeah.
So you got to worry about squishing her.
I love this. Tenenbaum, if you're good at something, never do it for free. Is that the Joker? Is that from?
That's just common good advice. There's so many people out there, writers and graphic artists and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And people want them to do stuff for free because it'll help your portfolio or will get you some exposure.
Okay, can I talk about something here?
Please do.
This is like I first saw this on TikTok, but I mean it's showing up on like, YouTube Shorts and everything now as well.
Let her rip.
Quit telling me about your freaking side hustle. Like, why does everything have to be a side hustle these days? Why can't you just enjoy doing something? Why do you have to turn it like? Why? Like, how many perfectly good hobbies are going to be destroyed because people feel like pressure to turn everything into a fucking side hustle? Freaking side hustle. So it's okay. It's after the first 8 seconds of the video. Like, it's like, shut up with your side hustle, kid. You're allowed to just do something because you enjoy it. This idea that everything has to be about like, it's, was it only closers get coffee? What's that line from, oh no, I forgot the name of the movie where, they're all salesmen. Yeah, always be closing. It's like, shut up. Shut up. You're allowed to enjoy things.
Well,
You
it
know,
says the term changed because it used to be a side hustle was something you made money with on the side.
it is, but I mean, a side hustle used to be a side hustle, and now it's like everyone's trying to turn all their interest into side hustles.
So it's like
It's
hobby. Hobby is now a side hustle.
Yeah, it's like
That doesn't make any sense.
you don't have to monetize every moment of your waking time. I mean, you're allowed to do certain things just because you find it relaxing and fulfilling by itself. You don't. It doesn't have to have a business element to it. It's like the world has become one big MBA program, and I really hate it. Does that make me sound like an old fart? The world has turned into a great big MBA program, and I just hate it. Who does that?
It's God. Everything makes me sound like an old fart these days. I swear. Talking about the prices of things, or just I don't understand technology anymore.
Yeah.
You know what I hate? I hate that every single app I use, whether it's a website or something, it has its own list of settings, and there are a million settings, and I got to go through each one and figure out why I'm getting a notification for this, or why is this happening. It's like I get that I'm old, and I used to be the one that my parents sent around the neighborhood to fix everybody's VCR, the clocks on the VCR when the power went out.
Yeah.
But I mean, and I'm good with computers, but it just drives me nuts. I just don't have the patience for it anymore.
Yeah. And I think that maybe part of it comes down to that old saying that I would personally rather not hear, do something you love and you'll never work a day in your life. Shut up. Shut up. Because it's a very small leap from that statement to, having your phone on the nightstand and answering emails at 10 p.m. kind of thing,
Well, there's another saying, never do something you love for a job or something like that, for a full-time job or something like that, because you'll learn to hate it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And I believe that more than do something you love because you'll never work a day in your life. Shut up. That's the kind of thing that a CEO comes up with to try and get his staff to.
I don't know about that. I think it's the spirit of the thing. The spirit of the statement is okay. The spirit of it being, stop doing the stuff you hate and find something that you don't, that you might enjoy or you're going to like better than this crap.
Yeah, I get it. I just want to point out what Ian says here. Second band trip was to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. This is where we discovered how many fireworks we could smuggle back to Canada on the bus. May 24th was explosive that year. You will never see fireworks on May 24th in Quebec, but I love the concept.
I remember Ray and I went on a hang gliding trip down to Tennessee. This is back in the 90s, and we stopped in one of those fireworks places, and I was like, my eyes were like this big, right?
Yeah.
Like, wow, look at all this stuff. You can't buy this in Canada. And I just went around, filled two, those old paper grocery bags.
Yeah.
I filled 2 full bags, and it was a little over $100, which at the time was a lot of money to spend on fireworks. I mean, now it's nothing. It's like 3,
Yeah.
and I was a little worried about coming over the border because I wasn't sure what the legalities are. And I got home, and City Girl's like, "You spent $100 on fireworks. Why do you get a lot of money?" But we had fireworks every year for years on those 2 bags.
You know what? It's because what the women in our lives don't tend to understand. Like when they see you walking with 2 bags full of fireworks, or like if I come home one day with that $900 Lego Millennium Falcon, it's like there's a disconnect between us and the women we live with, in that they don't understand that.
There's no way you can talk your way out of this one, Jess.
Well, no, what I was going to say is that, like, men don't grow up; we grow old. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm 50, and if I had the opportunity to buy the Jetfire that got stolen out of my room when I was 15, I would buy it just because it hurt the way it disappeared. Like, men buy toys right up until the end. It's just the toys change to knives and drones and guns or whatever, or sports cars or sports tickets. But we don't lose the impulse. We don't grow up. We just grow old. And so, yeah, to me, $100 on fireworks, you know, go. But sometimes, I come home with something and the missus is like, vraiment, là? Vraiment. And I'm like, yes. I'm going to go play with it. Yeah. Tenenbaum said yep to something. I'm not sure what. Ian says side hustle just sounds dirty, because it is. Christy says, what are you talking about, side hustles? No, we're not talking about it anymore. Ah, yes. Thank you, Tenenbaum. That's from Glengarry Glen Ross. That's what I was looking for.
That's funny, because I just watched the other day. I watched on YouTube the Alec Baldwin speech, the Always Be Closing speech.
Yeah.
Which is wonderful. What a wonderful movie that is. I resisted watching that movie for years because I hated the name.
Really?
And then my favorite part, though, Tenenbaum knows this. My favorite part was Al Pacino's part where when the guy comes in, he's like trying to get out of buying the property.
Mm-hmm.
That whole sequence was just fucking brilliant.
I watched it because I liked Mamet, right? I mean, David Mamet, he's a very big name playwright, and he's written some movies as well. There was one movie by him that I watched just because I saw his name in the writing, and I hated it, and I don't remember which one it is. Definitely not that one, though. I don't remember what it was. But I came out of the theater, and I was like, that was not David Mamet at his best. But, like, his lines are great. The characters, the way they interact. Just is this on YouTube? Yes, maybe. I don't know. I have no idea.
Yes.
Why you gotta ask the hard questions?
What's funny is like novelists and playwrights and something else, and then screenwriters. There's a really different mindset. And David Mamet and his dialogue. I mean, sorry, Glengarry Glen Ross is the only movie I can think of that he wrote, but the dialogue there's a lot of it. Like, a conversation between two people can last a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas in the screenwriting business, we learn to get on with it, right? If you can say something in fewer words, then absolutely say it in fewer words. You don't mess around. But somehow, I guess what I'm saying is, if you got to be really, really good at your dialogue if you're gonna, go on for so long.
I believe that Glengarry Glen I say blep. I'm gonna start that again.
Just say GG.
I believe that GG was actually originally one of his plays that got turned into a film.
Yeah, and when it got turned into a film, that's when he wrote Alec Baldwin's speech.
Okay.
Because it wasn't in the play. I think that's what I remember reading.
Yep. What I would like to know is, did Mamet speak influence in any way Joss Whedon's dialogue? Because Mamet speak is all about sort of kind of witty and kind of dry, but like not witty in the same way as Joss Whedon wrote his, but like there's sort of, they both come from a very witty space. And by the way, I'm someone who has no respect for wit in the real life. Like, people who I'm talking to and who are being witty all the time, I've picked up really, really early that they're only listening as far as they need to get their quip in. But I love witty dialogue in films and plays.
What's interesting is I've as a person who tried his hand at screenwriting. Yes, I saw that.
Okay.
I've learned to study movies and stuff like that, and I find you get Aaron Sorkin is terrible for this, where all the characters start sounding the same. They're all incredibly witty, and they're all saying brilliant things.
Yeah,
and it's probably where he fails is that he can't think of stupid dialogue. He can't think of how a stupid person thinks.
Yeah, that's very possible. There's one film where everyone was impossibly witty where I thought that it actually fit quite well, and that was Mrs. Parker and the Vicious Circle, about Dorothy Parker. And like everyone that Dorothy Parker knew at that time was an artist or a writer, right? She was a journal. Oh, she wasn't a journalist, but she worked for a magazine, and like everyone she knew was sort of in publishing at a time when writers really were a cut above. You know, these days magazine writers, there are still some old school magazine writers around, but it's like listening to the CBC today versus listening to the CBC 10 years ago when some of the old guard were still around, you know? All this to say that there is a film where everyone is impossibly witty, and it works because of who the characters were, and because these characters are historical, right? They were living people. Dorothy Parker is apparently one of the most quoted American poets. And they were all very, very witty people because they were working in magazines at a time when you had to be very smart to work in words. Tenenbaum asked if I hated The Edge. I hope not. I don't remember which film it was. I don't. I was going to look him up, but I realized that what's the point?
I remember the movie fairly well. I didn't know that David Mamet wrote it. I'd have to watch it again. My memory says it was a decent movie.
Oh, look who's here. Whoops. Hey, Chris, how are you doing? Tenenbaum, I meant the film, but yes, yes, I think what's his name was just being funny. But yeah, Tenenbaum says that David Mamet is a real treasure for dialogue. Absolutely. Where are you? Where are you? Peanut Trucker asks Christy, and I'm looking for where he is. He's in Louisville, Kentucky. Pick me up a bottle of whiskey, will you? Tenenbaum says, I like my coffee like I like my women, dark and bitter.
That's a quote from something, right?
I've said something very similar on many occasions.
I have never said that.
I think he's quoting Mamet at us. Never feel sorry for a man with a plane. Yeah. Hold on. Destiny says... Oops, sorry. I just saw Louisville. Okay. So she had missed where Chris is. How is it in Louisville tonight? You cold or you hot? Oh, both are from The Edge. No, what the hell was that film? I don't remember.
What film?
The Mamet film that I hated. It was kind of like an action film, sort of.
All right, let me.
What the hell was it?
State in Maine, Wag the Dog.
No,
I didn't know he did Wag the Dog. I love that movie.
Yeah, I love that film.
How long ago was this?
2009. I'm pulling a number out of my ass, but it was around then.
Okay, let me read some off here. The Penitent, About Last Night, The Coin, Phil Spector, Two Painters, Our Valley, The Marquis, Inside the Actors Workshop, The Dog, Lost Masterpieces of Pornography, The Unit, Red Belt, Edmund, Spartan, 74th Annual Academy Awards, Heist, Hannibal, State and Maine, Lake Boat, The Winslow Boy, Lansky, Ronin. We're in the 90s now. Wag the Dog, Spanish Prisoner, The Edge, Dr. Katz, American Buffalo.
I'm wrong.
Somebody else.
Did he make a movie called Ronin?
Ronin? God, that was an awful movie. Oh.
Am I totally misremembering who wrote that?
Oh, no, you're right. Ronin was, I was thinking of something else, 98. Why did that not show up? It's a list. I just read everything. Oh, it is there, Ronin. How did I miss that? Yeah, so De Niro and other people. Jean Reno. Sean Bean, Stellan Skarsgård. That was a good movie.
Maybe it's not Ronin, but it's one of those like where it's a more of an action film.
Yeah, it was.
I seem to remember who the heck was in it. I'm never gonna remember any of this. But anyways, it's not that big a deal.
He wrote "We're No Angels." Oh my God. De Niro and Sean Penn. Remember that comedy?
De Niro and Sean Penn?
Two fugitives pass themselves off as priests in the hope of evading capture and passing the police blockade at the border with Canada. It's comedy. I can't believe you wrote that.
Destiny says she loved the script for WKRP in Cincinnati and Northern Exposure. Well done indeed. Yeah. Spanish Prisoner. No, I don't think it's that. Oh, David's out.
Good night, David.
Good night.
Sorry about the penis problem.
Yeah, sorry about the UTI. 23.8 degrees and raining all day, says Peanut Chucker. Oof. Like chucking it down with rain, or like a nice light rain on a hot summer day kind of thing? Because I've kind of liked the rain we've had over the past few days. It's been raining all day, but it's kind of a light, cool rain.
Are you going to 11:15 because you started late?
Oof. I could do that but then I have to get off right away and go to bed.
Well, I don't care about that.
You don't care about anything.
Well, no, it's not true.
Don't believe you. Don't believe him. He's telling lies. He's been telling lies. You're a cold-hearted snake. Ian the Web Lord. WKRP, it's raining turkeys. Oh man. That's a deep cut.
Oh, the humanity. That's one of the best episodes of anything ever.
Apparently the sun is coming up in Sweden right now. I can imagine it is.
It's still dark. Just look outside. Nonsense. Tenenbaum. Nonsense.
Such nonsensification.
Such.
Come on, whiskey. Back in your box. Back in your box, whiskey.
That was a great, that was a great episode, but it was really well done too, because you didn't see what was happening. You just heard Les Nessman's report on the scene, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's listening to him going, "Oh my God."
Yeah.
It was really well done.
It was a well done show generally, we found, but I didn't see all of them though, right? I mean, I was young when WKRP was on the airwaves.
I probably saw all of them. I don't know. Here's the thing about all those old shows, WKRP, Three's Company. I'm trying to think of others. MASH. As good as the actors were and as good as their comedic timing was, it was all in the writing.
Yeah,
it really was.
Yeah, absolutely. Ian says WKRP would never get on the air now. Most of those shows wouldn't. Hell, even Kojak probably wouldn't get on the air now. The Beachcombers probably would, but
like the Bunkers, Archie Bunker.
Yeah, All in the Family.
Yeah, yes, all in the same. And I was thinking, what was the other one with George Jefferson? George and Wheezy.
I don't know.
I can't think of the name now. Well,
yeah, Christy says, shows that are great but would not do good now is All in the Family and the Jeffersons.
The Jeffersons, yes.
But even like Welcome Back, Kotter, stuff like that was a product of its time, right? In some ways.
Yes, absolutely. And we do the same thing we always do. We judge things that happened years and years ago on today's social microscope, and it was just was just different back then.
Yeah. Did you ever watch Danger Bay?
Yes, it was on one of the 2 channels we got.
Yep. I just, for some reason, I just remembered one day that there was this episode where one of the daughter's friends, school friends, sort of had a crush on the dad, on Doctor, whatever his name was.
Yeah.
Whatever his name is. I just remember, like, him doing something to help her out or something. I don't quite remember. And her saying, Mr. Blah, 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 you're even better looking than Tom Selleck, which is a very dated line. But like they were dealing with sort of that whole dichotomy between, and like he was obviously troubled by it. He wasn't going to go there or anything, but they were trying in their naive 80s way to deal with the question of like the whole Lolita thing, And it's funny how like these days the way they would deal with those questions would be like dark, dramatic music, a lot of close-ups, a lot of like, I don't mean close-ups like sex scenes. I mean close-ups of like girl looking coquettish and, I don't know, flicking a smoke or something and him sweating. But back then they didn't really do that kind of thing. They just they dealt with it.
It's funny what was shocking back then was not at all shocking these days.
Yeah. Bettina used to watch Danger Bay. Bettina says that Little House on the Prairie was one of her childhood favorites. Here's a question. Does anyone remember them actually eating anything at the supper table? Because all I ever remember is, could you pass the steak? Could you pass the potatoes? Could you pass the carrots?
That's not a detail I would remember, but funny thing about that show, I worked with a guy who's talking about, at the time, we're talking about kids, and he was saying, well, I only let my kids watch, certain shows like Little House on the Prairie. And I thought about it, and I'm like, yeah, I used to watch it too when I was a kid, but there were some really mature stories on that show, like really mature, like when the guy's wife and daughter died in that house fire, and there's some serious stuff going on in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, Bettina, man, deep cuts, the original Degrassi.
There's a show I never watched.
I didn't either because I was already not watching a lot of TV at that point. Bettina says, yes, they ate, I think.
Well,
it's like the Waltons.
You know what? Russell ruins TV and movies for Bettina. Most of the time when you see people eating in TV and movies, they have a spit bucket right beside them, right? Because they're doing like 12 takes, and generally you just can't eat that much. So they'll be eating, the director will cut and they'll spit it all out in the bucket.
Yeah.
Except the only exception that I've ever heard of, oh my God, I forget his name. I forget the TV show's name. Oh my God. Hold on.
Are you Googling only TV show without spit buckets? Peanut Trucker liked Bonanza. Anyone here used to watch Gunsmoke? I mean, that's before my time, but, well, no, it ended in 75, I think. Oh,
yeah, okay.
Which would have made me 3. Chris Pratt?
Sorry, Chris Pratt on the set of Parks and Recreation. Because I saw an interview where one of the other actors was talking about it, and he was talking about the whole spit bucket thing. He's like, yeah, but Chris Pratt never uses a spit bucket. He'll just mow through like 8 hamburgers if that's what it takes. Just keeps eating.
Really?
He's in better shape now. So.
I was gonna say that's unsurprising though, like that right? he would just sort of yeah. I get it. I understand. Good old Chris Pratt. Tenenbaum used to watch. Hi. See, the thing is, I don't know how to pronounce that second word because I live in French Canada, so I would call that chaparral.
Chaparral.
Chaparral. Chaparral.
I would think the same. Chaparral.
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 Don't shut up, Jesse. Oh, good. Bettina's power game. Tina's Power just came on, which is good. Peter Trucker used to watch Gunsmoke as well. Man, Gunsmoke was considered one of the best shows on TV for a long, long time. It was very highly regarded. I mean, it's still considered a high point in American TV.
You know, if you watch other people here have watched it, Joe and Zach Survival. Every time that Joe goes to the tent, you know, he puts Gunsmoke on the TV. You can see it on the background of all of his videos.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know why. I guess he loves the show.
That's funny. I like that.
20 seasons. Oh my god.
What, Gunsmoke?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy crap! From 1955 to 1975.
Yep. Yeah, it was on forever. It was on forever.
20 episodes a season.
Yeah.
What is that? 400? I can't do math, but that's 400.
And they did some TV specials or movies and stuff as well afterwards. They did those because the last episode was widely considered to be inappropriate, not because of sexuality or anything, but because the main character for the 20 seasons was hardly in it. It was about a side character, and it was just a throwaway story. But what happened was they got canceled. Right, so they didn't build up to a final episode or anything. They just sort of, and they were gone. They had already, CBS, I believe it was, had tried to cancel them a few years prior, and because one of the producers' wives loves the show, when she got wind that they were going to cancel it, she flipped, and so they canceled Gilligan's Island instead, almost by accident.
I'm just browsing the episodes for Gunsmoke just at random. I got to season 20, episode 6, called The Wiving. 3 saloon girls are kidnapped in Dodge by 3 men who want to marry them, and oddly enough, the women do start to fall in love. Now I gotta watch that.
Little Stockholm syndrome.
They probably hadn't heard of that back then.
Right. Oh, the Fall Guy, Ian says. Right.
Ooh, Heather Thomas.
Quincy MD, my land.
One of 2 Heathers.
We are deep diving tonight. Creepy. When I was reviewing DVDs, I got a box set of the Zorro, a Disney Zorro from like 1955, I think it was. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Something magical about that era of TV. Absolutely. Are you looking up the Wiving?
No, I'm looking up Heather Thomas.
Oh.
As I said, one of 2 Heathers on TV at the time. That was...
What, like, was the other one Locklear?
Yeah.
Not sure if I'd like to go down in history as one of the 2 Heathers.
Why?
What's your damage, Heather? Not the same Heathers.
Oh, the Heathers?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting movie, too.
Are you a Heather? No, I'm a Veronica. I enjoyed that film.
Yes, I also like that film.
Yeah. Kind of stuff that wouldn't be made today. You know, I
don't know.
It wouldn't be filmed the same way today, shall we say.
Nothing is filmed the same way.
I think we're starting to sound like a couple of old grumpy guys.
Hey, starting.
Don't make them like they used to.
Starting to sound like.
Yeah. I'm just looking through the side chat to make sure we didn't miss anything hilarious.
Oh, I see. So, my bad. I didn't realize he was talking about the movie. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. What were you gonna say?
I was going to say that Peanut Trucker brought up BJ and the Bear. I hadn't even thought of that. Oh, I love this question from Christy. How much would the $6 million man cost in today's cash?
$6 billion.
Yeah. Remember there was a $6 million, was it woman or a $6 million girl? $6 million woman, right?
It was the Bionic Woman.
The Bionic Woman, yeah.
Yep, I remember that.
It was a spinoff.
Yep. And they did a number of crossovers, but
yeah.
I enjoyed the show, but it really distressed me that every time he was supposed to be running fast, he was actually running really, really slow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why do they slow it down? He's supposed to be running fast. It really bothered me.
It was to amp up the the dramatic appeal. I was trying to do the sound, but I kept sort of coming up with the sound of the Transformers in my head. I didn't do that well, but you know the sound of the Transformers.
No, can't help you.
You never watched the Transformers?
I can't think of the sound that they made.
Yeah. But yeah, that whole thing about the crossover between the Bionic Man and the Bionic Woman kind of, it's almost like they were a live action version of like He-Man and She-Ra. You know, like popping up in each other's shows. Bettina says, "Littlest Hobo, there's a place keeps on calling me." Oh, she's skipping like half the song. Maybe tomorrow, it's where I want to be. Yeah.
I just like that show.
You didn't like The Littlest Hobo?
No. I had the same problem. I mean, they're very highly trained, but the dog's always looking at the trainer. It's not. Dogs can't act, right? It can only do it, you know, and that's just how they're taught, right?
Yeah.
Always look at the trainer because the trainer's going to tell them what to do next.
That's good.
That's not good. I see. Russell's ruining movies and TV shows. Now you can't unsee it.
Yeah, that is true though. Christina likes Fudge. Christy likes our sound.
Fudge. Christy.
Fudge it. I watched $6 Million Man and Bionic Woman 2. Not sure how long they were on. We only had 13 channels when I was young. We only had 4. 2 English and 2 French. No, we had 6 because there were 2 that came over from the States. There was Mountain Lake Public Television and some other damn thing.
We had
Channel
2.
22. Shazam! Oh my snap! And Mighty Isis. I never watched. I don't know that was.
We had. Sometimes we had 3, but we had 2 channels, and we had to turn the antenna every time we wanted to get one or the other.
Mm-hmm.
Which means if my parents wanted to watch news downstairs, I couldn't watch anything upstairs because the antenna was pointing the wrong way.
No, right. Those were the days.
I can't believe there's only 5 seasons of the $6 Million Man.
Bettina met the 6 hobo dogs. They filmed an episode down the road from my house as a kid. 6 dogs.
There's Bettina ruining TV shows now. 6
dogs. I saw a piece on how many General Lees they used for the Dukes of Hazzard and how they weren't all the same year because at one point they were sort of running out of the year that the car originally was because they destroyed many cars in that show. Like just blew them right to pieces through jumps and stuff.
Sure, and we'll talk about cars that they ruined in Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah, same deal, right? Ian the Weblord says, "You'd think we were all of a similar age with this bushcraft tangent." Yeah. Tina says, "I think there were 6 anyway, or maybe more." Well, yeah, they just kept blowing dogs apart too. Just kidding.
Shit, we need another dog.
Get us another dog. We broke this one.
Go down to the pound.
I between Dukes of Hazzard. Oh, Grace said there was an ad. Yeah, we're at 11:15. Okay, I'm gonna have to cut her short so I can go to bed because I'm working at the office tomorrow. So I have to be on my best behavior and all that. Blah, 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 blah. So this ended up being a lot more fun than I thought it was going to be. You know, this little trip down memory lane. This little.
You mean after I got here?
I'm talking specifically about the silver screen talk. I mean,
Oh.
You know, I mean, you were part of that.
Well, you were doing a lot of yawning before I got here.
Yeah, I was. But now we're talking about then we were talking about script writing, David Mamet, Dukes of Hazzard, blowing cars apart, blowing dogs apart. What? Anyways, everyone have a good sleep. Yes, I will see you next week. It's next month that I will be taking a day off. Excuse me. I would like to do a special shout out to Tenenbaum for still being awake. And yeah, so between now tonight, between this show and the next time we meet, everybody please stay safe, stay healthy, stay sane, and be kind to one another.
And don't forget to peace.